They didn't stop wanting you. They stopped needing to think about you. And that's the part nobody warns you about. Because the most dangerous thing you can do after a breakup is try to be understood. The moment you explain, chase, or ask for clarity, you give them emotional closure, and closure kills obsession. Right now, someone who walked away from you is calm only because they believe you're still emotionally available. But when that illusion breaks, something inside them wakes up. Stay with me, because this isn't about love. It's about power, perception, and the moment. The one who left starts looking back. The breakup is over. The words have been said. You're left with silence that feels heavier than shouting ever did. Your mind races. You want answers. You want to explain your side, not to win them back, but to feel seen. Here's the first dark truth. The brain doesn't crave explanations. It craves emotional certainty. And when you rush to talk, you give them certainty. They know where you stand. They know you still care. They know they still matter. And when someone knows they still matter, they stop chasing. What happens when they no longer know where you stand? Think about the dynamic before the breakup. You responded quickly. You explained yourself. You adjusted your emotions to maintain peace. Without realizing it, you became emotionally predictable. In psychology, predictability equals safety. And safety, while comforting, does not fuel desire. The mind chases what it can't fully understand or control. When someone knows how you'll react, they stop emotionally investing. You didn't lose them because you cared too much. You lost leverage because you revealed too much. How do you become unpredictable without being cruel? You stop reaching out. Not dramatically, not angrily. You simply remove your emotional presence. This is where something shifts. Silence creates a psychological vacuum, and the mind hates empty space. When there's no emotional feedback, the brain begins to fill the gap. They replay conversations, analyze your tone, wonder if they misjudged you. This isn't about punishment. It's about interrupting emotional certainty. You go from familiar to unresolved. Why does unresolved emotion feel stronger than love? Here's a hard truth. People don't fear losing relationships. They fear losing influence. When you stop emotionally reacting, they lose access to your inner world. No validation, no reassurance, no emotional mirror. This creates anxiety, not because they miss you, but because they no longer control how you feel. Control loss triggers obsession. The moment they realize they can't predict your emotions anymore, they start thinking about you differently. Why does emotional independence feel threatening? You don't announce growth. You don't post motivational quotes. You don't show off happiness. You simply exist differently. This confuses the mind. Humans expect visible pain after separation. When pain isn't visible, the brain assumes transformation. They begin to imagine you moved on faster. You detached emotionally. You no longer need them. Imagination always exaggerates reality, and exaggerated perceptions fuel desire. Why does the mind fear what it can't confirm? At first, they feel relief, then neutrality, then something subtle changes. Your name appears in their thoughts randomly, not emotionally, but curiously. Curiosity activates dopamine. Dopamine fuels pursuit. They check your profile. Nothing new, no clues, no emotional access. Your silence forces their mind to work overtime. You become a question, not a memory. Why does curiosity reopen closed doors? A message arrives, short, casual, almost meaningless. How have you been? This is not connection. It's a test. They're checking. Are you still emotionally open? Do they still matter? Can they still access you? Your response determines whether attraction resets or dies permanently. Immediate emotional replies restore the old dynamic. Calm, measured responses shift the psychological frame. You're present, but not available. Why does restraint feel more attractive than affection? You reply without depth, without urgency, without emotional exposure. Now the imbalance begins. They invest thought. You don't match it. The mind attaches to what it invests in. They reread messages, analyze pauses, question meaning. You're no longer chasing connection. They are. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional self-control. Why does imbalance create attachment? Here's the real turning point. They sense you don't need them anymore. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, undeniable way. This triggers existential fear. Not jealousy, not competition, but the fear of becoming irrelevant. The ego struggles with being replaceable. They don't want you back because they love you. They want you back because they lost emotional significance. Why does independence feel like rejection? Time does something dangerous. It removes emotional friction. Arguments fade. Tension softens. But emotional intensity remains. Distance removes negative reinforcement. Now the mind romanticizes the past. Moments feel warmer. Regrets grow louder. You become idealized, not because you changed, but because absence edited memory. Why does distance turn endings into longing? The tone changes. Messages get longer. Interest becomes emotional. Nostalgia surfaces. This is where most people fail. They rush. They explain. They give full emotional access. And the chase ends. Desire doesn't survive emotional flooding. True attraction lives in measured presence. You're kind, but not consuming. Open, but not exposed. You don't disappear. You don't chase. You let curiosity do the work. How do you stay desired without losing control? Never seek closure from someone who walked away. Let silence disrupt emotional certainty. Detach your worth from their attention. Signs to watch for. Sudden curiosity after silence. Casual messages with hidden intent. Emotional nostalgia resurfacing. Behaviors to avoid. Explaining your growth. Oversharing emotions. Trying to prove value. Mental strategies. Respond, don't react. Delay emotional investment. Stay grounded in self-respect. This isn't about winning them back. It's about never abandoning yourself again. If this made you uncomfortable, it's because comfort was never the truth. If it made you think of someone specific, that wasn't random. Like this video, not for validation, but as a reminder that you're learning control. Subscribe if you want understanding, not emotional chaos. And comment below with one word, not a story, that describes how this made you feel. Because here's the question I'll leave you with. If they came back now, would it be love? Or the fear of losing control over someone who no longer waits,